It's a crime. We should be there in Dallas. Hashtag pony up. But in all seriousness, this is two ACC unbeatens. Ralph, another spot where not just a playoff spot, but a spot in Charlotte, definitely on the line for both these teams. And I'll be honest with you, when you look at these two teams and their resumes, with all due respect, you probably can't afford a loss. Like if SMU is going to reach the playoff, and we all
Yeah.
talked about this on Monday, there's a chance that they could not make the ACC title game and still be undefeated in conference play. You can't really lose. Like if you're SMU, you have to win out. Same with Pitt here. Coming into this one, SMU had a 30% chance of making the playoff and a 20% chance for Pitt. Here's interesting to me, and we talked. Ralph Will talked about this on Monday. This is why conference title games are going to eventually go away, and they'll just crown someone like they do in basketball for the regular season, and we'll move on to the postseason format. Pitt's chances to make the playoff, win or lose in this one, go up if they don't have to play in the ACC title game.
Yeah.
SMU is an 84% chance to make the playoff with no ACC title game. If they go undefeated, Ralph, and they lose it, they only have a 34% chance. So literally you're telling a team, hey, you don't want to go to the ACC title game. SMU, if they go undefeated and don't make it, they have a greater chance than if they just went. It's and lost. It's crazy to me.
The thing is what they're saying is that you went undefeated, but you didn't have to play anybody, so we can't say you're not good. So we'll just throw you in the playoffs and see how you.
But once you're tested,
yeah. But and then they remember because the following year when you're undefeated, they're like, "Nah, you're done."
That's crazy. Let's talk a little bit about this game. Just kind of some of the analytics you can look into. And once again, like I said, I know this is an online simulation tool, but if you don't think ESPN has some type of pull and some type of what they're trying to do with the playoff, just look back to last year, folks. One thing about Ralph, a characteristic I like about Pitt is that this is a blue collar team. Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was out on Pitt. I was out on Pat Narduzzi. I thought that his course had run. I thought he had run his course at Pitt. Fires the OC, hires Cade Bell. Shout out the Valdosta State Blazers, 2019 Division II national champs. But he hires Cade Bell, and they're really starting to pick things up. Eli Holstein has been a revelation in that offense and for his career, honestly. And they've won close games all year. I mean, when you go on the road and you have a characteristic that you've got that lunch pail mentality, let's talk about this for a second. You got the lunch pail mentality, and you win close games. I know the spread's at 7.5 in favor of SMU, and we'll talk about the SMU side of things. But if you're Pitt, that's something. If you're a Pitt fan, you have to like coming into this game about your team.
Yeah, I mean the huge win. If you look at the schedule, going to Cal or beating Cal at home. Cal's a tough team. Look,
I know they're 0-4 or whatever in ACC.
Disregard their record, but they've lost some tough ones in the conference play. Especially one to Florida State. But being Syracuse like you did, beat them like a drum. We all thought that what we saw on that was the Thursday night game, I think,
against Syracuse.
Yes,
it's Thursday night or Friday night.
Yeah, that Kyle McCord threw the ball 64 times and threw 5 interceptions. I've been saying all year Kyle McCord is one of the top quarterbacks in the country, just because how efficient he's been this year and how good he's been and how much of a gamer he really is.
Yeah,
and Ohio State just kind of threw him out to the Wolves at the end of the year last year. This Pitt team's they're incredible, man. They like you said they're that lunch pail mentality. They get it done. News though from Pete Thamel, Narduzzi on his radio show tonight said that Eli Holstein is cleared and ready to play on Saturday.
That's big.
Holstein versus Jennings. It's going to be a good matchup. I like this Pitt team. They're just kind of it's hard to really go against them. They do everything right. Everything right. I mean, Holstein's been efficient all year. 5 interceptions. He's got one of the top QBRs in the country. 60 almost 65% completion rating. He's got some. It's not a one-sided team where you have like one talented receiver. You go back to when Jordan Pickett was there. Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett were there.
Yeah.
He just dishes it out to everybody. He's got a good run game. He also runs the ball pretty well. I didn't think he was that fast.
Yeah, no, he's got some wheels.
So.
Yeah, they win close games, and that's a characteristic you have to like about Pitt coming into this one. I don't think what's happened last week for both of these teams is going to happen again. I wrote that down. SMU had 6 turnovers and still beat Duke. Pitt, like you mentioned, forced 3 pick sixes. But I do think that, and I like the way that SMU takes care of the football. You mentioned obviously that with Eli Holstein playing, that kind of quells any conversation, that we needed to have about Nate Yarnell, the backup. Eli Holstein's a gamer. Kevin Jennings, though. Let's talk about Kevin Jennings for a second. I mean, let's first off,
wasn't even a starter.
3 weeks ago, I issued a public apology for Pitt. I said, hey, hand up. I was wrong. I'm wrong about the Pitt Panthers. So I'm man enough to say when I'm wrong. I'm also childlike enough to gloat when I'm right. And it is hilarious to me, Ralph, that we at one point I tweeted out on December 12th or 22nd, some last year. Said SMU is going to come in and they're going to run the ACC. They're going to take the ACC by storm. Ralph, you want to see some of the responses? You ready for this?
Do you have them saved?
Yes, sir. So let's
we keep receipts around here.
We keep receipts here. And you can keep receipts on me. It's okay.
I'll just go ahead and say I'll say my two cents about this thing.
Go say your 2 cents. I'm pulling it up.
Kevin Jennings this year has been, we were talking at the beginning of the year, Bryce, and I said enough. I thought Preston Stone was a guy who could be a lock in for, a second, third day quarterback in the draft. I mean, I thought Preston Stone was that guy who could, go into the NFL and just be kind of good, good backup, eventually become a good starter one day. I was wrong.
It's a hand up.
He was awful at the beginning of the year. I don't know what was wrong with him. It looked like he's trying to move the ball against sand. It just felt like he was just backing up more and more every drive. Kevin Jennings, though, he brings a lot more to the table. He's more mobile. He's got a better arm, better vision. He's a gamer. I say that a lot, I feel like, but he truly is. I mean, he came in last year when Preston Stone got hurt, won them a lot of games, and he's done it this year. I mean, he's 110 for 171 for 65%, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. I mean, I'd say he'd be close to almost 2,000 yards passing right now if he would have played the first 3 games more.
That's fair, Ralph. All right.
Maxwell says, please tell me on one of them. That would be hilarious.
All right, so here we go. You ready for this? Leaving church will update the spreadsheet a bit. Ralph, while I'm doing this, make sure you get your best bet in.
Already done. You're gonna get. Don't look at it. You're gonna laugh at it though.
I won't look at it. All right, so just Pitt SMU. Let me first off, let me get this out of the way. I like what you said there. Kevin Jennings has cemented himself. Once he has been the full-time quarterback, this offense is flowing. They've got a nice defense. I'm going to take SMU to win, Ralph. I'm going to take Pitt to cover. I think 7.5 is a lot for my liking. I think it's going to be a close football game. I'm going SMU to win this football game. Real quick, get your Pitt in.
I'm going SMU. I think they cover. They're at home. They're comfortable at home. Their only loss at home this year is BYU, and BYU is a solid team. They lost by 3. And at the beginning of the year, we thought it was a bad loss. It's not.
Yeah.
Rhett Lashley, future Creed knower, or future Woo Piggy over there.
Pittman saved his job.
Well, either way, Rhett Lashley, he's done a great job in college football. I mean, from Auburn being OC to being SMU's OC under Sonny Dykes for a few years, he has done a great job this year. Props to him. I'm a big Lashley fan. And they have a linebacker who is from somewhere in Georgia. And the guy followed me on Twitter when he was in high school.
Let's go.
And I cannot find him anymore. But he had that pick against Florida State, that pick 6, that big one, toward late in the game.
Pony up, baby. I'm ready for it.